Senate Judiciary Committee will come to order. Today, the committee will hear from a range of experts about the cost of prescription drugs in America. Americans pay the highest prescription drug prices in the world, nearly 3 times what people in other developed countries pay for common medications. Take the cancer drug Keytruda, which has helped extend former President Jimmy Carter's life. It has an annual list price of more than $190,000 in the United States. In Germany, the exact same drug made by the same company cost $89,000. Jardiance, we can all visualize, excuse me. Senator Grassley.
I've had it too.
I'm with Grassley, sorry. Jardiance, you can all visualize the dancing lady in the yellow dress ad. A medicine used to treat type 2 diabetes retails for more than $700 in the United States, $150 in Canada, the exact same drug. Prices just keep going up. In 2022, drug manufacturers raised the prices of more than 1,200 medications by an average of 32%, 4 times the rate of inflation. The poster child for high drug prices is insulin. It was discovered 100 years ago by Canadian researchers who surrendered their patent rights for the sum total of $1 because they believe nobody should profit from this life-saving drug. The same thing is true of Jonas Salk and the vaccine that we used for polio. I remember that as a kid. He surrendered his patent rights to that drug too because it was so important. When Eli Lilly launched its insulin product, Humalog, in 1999, a vial cost a modest $21. Over the next 20 years, Eli Lilly raised the price of Humalog more than 24 times, with the cost ultimately reaching $330 for that same $21 vial. While the historic Inflation Reduction Act capped the price of insulin at $35 a month for Medicare, many patients are still paying inflated prices for a century-old drug. The pharmaceutical industry is going to tell you that high prescription drug prices are the cost of innovation and point to billions of dollars in research and development. In fact, a government agency financed by American taxpayers, the National Institutes of Health, plays an important role in innovation and research. NIH funding contributed to 99% of all new drugs approved by FDA between 2010 and 2019, with $187 billion in taxpayer-funded research, benefiting 354 of 356 new drugs. NIH is part of the solution. And too often the prices charged by Big Pharma do not reflect the scientific advancement. Rather, they're the result of skilled lawyers manipulating the patent system and skirting our nation's competition laws. Take the blockbuster drug Humira, which AbbVie introduced in 2002. For more than 20 years, the company exploited intellectual property laws to build a thicket of 165 patents that allowed Humira to avoid competition. The result, $20.7 billion in revenue to AbbVie in 2021 alone, and over $200 billion in revenue over Humira's 20-plus years of exclusivity. These are massive, profitable drugs. I asked Blue Cross Blue Shield in Chicago, why are premiums going up so fast? The number one cause? These high-priced prescription drugs. Humira is not unique. A recent study found that the top 10 best-selling drugs in 2021 had a combined 1,429 patent applications filed, 72% of which were filed after the FDA approved the drug for sale. You know what's going on if you even have a beginner course in this business. The patent system is being manipulated and used by their attorneys to extend the patent life to avoid competition, generics, and bringing down the cost. These blockbuster drugs were covered by an average of 42 active patents. The FTC recently highlighted another page in Big Pharma's anti-competitive playbook when it challenged more than 400 patents as improperly listed in the FDA Orange Book. By listing these patents on inhalers, EpiPens, weight loss drugs, and more, their manufacturers delayed generic competition and padded profits. The committee has taken a leadership in addressing big pharma's abuses. Last year, we unanimously reported 5 bipartisan bills that address issues ranging from anti-competitive pay-for-delay agreements and sham citizen petition to patent thickets and product problems. This includes my bill with Senators Tillis, Coons, and Grassley to improve information sharing between the FDA and the U.S. Patent Office. This hearing will try to make clear that our work is not done. We have things to do. Ask the American people what they think about this issue. You know what you're going to hear. We see an average of 9 ads a day for drugs on television. You cannot escape them. God only knows where else the advertising is going. How many countries in the world allow direct-to-consumer advertising for drugs? 2, the United States and New Zealand. New Zealand, for God's sake. The only 2 countries in the world that allow this kind of advertising. Why do we do it? So that we can spell Xarelto and go to a doctor's office and say, I think I need a Xarelto to get well again, and to skip through fields of flyers. Many doctors, instead of taking the time to argue a reason for a generic drug or no drug, instead prescribe these drugs. And as a consequence, the cost of medicine and healthcare goes up and up and up, and the hard to justify profits continue. I will now, before I turn to my ranking member here, I want to acknowledge Senator Welch's interest in this hearing and this issue. When he first came to the committee, we sat down and talked about his subcommittee assignments, and he told me that this is one issue he wanted to focus on. So at some point in the hearing this morning, I'll be surrendering the gavel to him to continue this hearing. Thank you for being here, Senator. Senator Graham?
Thank you.